Hey everybody, it's Brooke with the Buttered Home and welcome to my messy kitchen. Today we have a sweet surprise for you with our version of lemon coffee cake. You will not want to miss this one, so stay with us. For our topping in a small bowl, we have a half a cup of plain all-purpose flour, 2 tablespoons of lemon zest, a quarter cup of sugar, and 3 tablespoons of cold cubed butter. And I am just cutting that butter in with my fingers. I used a fork too, no special equipment. Now we are going to squeeze some lemons. I'm using fresh lemons for this because the recipe calls for juice. So I am just squeezing those out in a strainer to get my lemon juice all ready for this beautiful, beautiful lemon coffee cake. Okay, so now we're going to mix up our filling, which starts with 8 ounces of cream cheese, softened in room temperature, and then a quarter cup of sugar. We're going to get those nice and creamed together to get that sugar nice and incorporated with the cream cheese. 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, which we just squeezed, and that'll help smooth things out as well. And then we add in 1 egg. Once we get that egg all mixed in, we're going to set this to the side. Now to a large bowl, we're going to mix up our cake, and we start with 2 cups of cake flour. Then we add in 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And then half a teaspoon of salt. Then we take the zest of 1 lemon, which is the equivalent of about 2 tablespoons of zest, and we mix that in with the other dry components of the cake. The reason why we do that is because sometimes zest can be a little sticky. So if you mix it in with the dry ingredients, it separates and more evenly distributes throughout the body of the cake. I like doing this over the bowl, so that way if I lose any, I haven't lost any. Get that all nice and mixed up, and we'll set that to the side. And now we'll combine our wet ingredients for the cake. It seems like a lot, but I promise you it's worth it. We start out with half a cup of softened butter, that's 1 stick, and to that we add in a half a cup of sugar. We're going to cream those together until it's nice and light and fluffy. This recipe calls for 2 eggs. I add those to the butter and sugar mixture and cream those in as well, one at a time. So that's egg number 1, and here comes egg number 2. Get those nice and mixed up. Mixed really well. Now we're going to take the juice of another lemon, probably about 2 tablespoons, and I'm juicing this one a little differently over my hand just to show you how you can do it with no special equipment. This one hand catches the seeds and allows for the juice to kind of roll through the fingers and into the wet ingredients. 1 lemon will yield about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. We're going to give that a nice mix. More liquid helps break that butter down and incorporate it well. Now we're going to add our wet ingredients to our dry, and I like to do this in a couple of stages just because it helps for good even mixing so that your cake batter is nice and smooth. Add in the rest of it. Now we're going to make it that much smoother and add in 3/4 of a cup of milk. You can use buttermilk here, but there's really no need. Regular milk, or what my mama's always called sweet milk, will be just fine. And sweet milk is your regular 2%, 1% skim, whole milk, whatever you have on hand. Give that a good mix and get that cake nice and smooth. Oh, lost a beater. Now I'm going to spray an 8.5 by 11 casserole dish, and the cake goes, well, half of the cake goes in. So we want to create one layer on the bottom, and we'll spread that out nice and even. Now we take that filling, that topping, and the easiest way to do this is to just kind of spoon it right over the top. I make a ribbon right down the middle, and then I'll take my spatula and spread it out from side to side. That helps you get it evenly distributed without disturbing that cake layer. Then easy peasy, lemon squeezy, we just spoon the rest of that cake batter out right on top in sort of the same manner, or you can just dollop it all around so that you can move it without disturbing the other two layers that are there with your spatula. And it seems intimidating, but it's really not. I just use light upward strokes to get it all around. This will go into our 350-degree oven for 30 to 35 minutes until that topping that we're putting on right now that we did in the very beginning is nice, brown, and bubbly. If you wanted the top a little more brown, you can place it under the broiler for just a minute or two and get it to your desired level of brownness. So stay with us. Okay, we're back. I've already taken out my piece because I had to take pictures, so just full disclosure. But this cake is moist and soft. You've got that crunchy coffee cake topping on the top, and then you've got that cream filling in the middle. Gosh, that's a mighty big bite. But we have the cream filling, and you'll notice that oftentimes it kind of sits near the bottom. And that's okay. It doesn't have to be a distinct layer. It just tends to help keep the cake moist, and you get a nice creamy bite in the middle of the cake without the cake being too underdone, if that makes sense. So it just adds a little something special with that cream cheese, and it's still kind of warm. So let's take a bite. Lemony, creamy. It's like a cloud, but it's not overpowering with the lemon. We added just enough zest and just enough juice to all the components here that it just complements one another. It's a tender, moist vanilla cake mix without any vanilla in it whatsoever. So it's really just a yellow cake. But it's a homemade cake from scratch. And this topping, so if you're used to a normal coffee cake, you get that little bit of crunch, just a little pop of sugar, but it's infused with that lemon, and it really is wonderful. And the butter made it nice and crispy. It's my favorite thing ever. Not too sweet, just sweet enough. So this recipe, like all of our others, can be found over at thebutteredhome.com. Nice free printable recipe card with plenty of room in the margins where you can make this recipe your very own. If you're not already, make sure you're following us on all of our social channels. We have a really good time, and we want you with us wherever we are. And as always, if you want all of our videos in one convenient place, head over to YouTube, search for The Buttered Home, and when you find us, hit that subscribe button so that you can be notified when we drop new videos like this one. Okay, this cake may have to find another home. I'm going to eat this piece and then I'm going to abstain. So I'm going to go fix me a cup of coffee, sit down, kick my feet up, and enjoy this delicious lemon coffee cake. And we hope that you'll do the same. This is always from The Buttered Home to your home. We sure love y'all. Bye.